Hi everyone, trust you guys are doing amazing. In this video, I would be talking about the Agri Food Pilot project, and this Agri Food Pilot project is basically for helping the labor market needs of the Canadian agri food sector. So what will happen here? It shows a pathway wherein how can non-seasonal workers of specific industries they can get permanent residence, and we'll be talking about that in this video. And this pilot will go up to May 2023. So what is the process and how you can apply? So there's certain criteria like you need to meet the eligibility requirements of a Canadian experience. Then you need to have a full-time non-seasonal job offer from the eligible industries that are eligibly part of this pilot program. Then you should meet or exceed the language requirements, and meet or exceed the educational requirements, meet or exceed the settlement funds, and then you need to have a temporary resident status if you're already here in Canada. Okay, so like I said, in order to apply, you need to show your experience in an eligible industry and occupation, and a full-time offer in that particular eligible industry and occupation. So what is eligible industry and what constitutes or comprises an eligible occupation? I'll be talking about that now, so just take a look. So the eligible industries are classified by the North American Industry Classification System, and you can see these definitions in the website. And these are the meat production, manufacturing, greenhouse nursery, animal production excluding aquaculture, cattle ranching and farming, hog and pig farming. You can see the codes here so that you can refer to them whenever you want to refer to these. And poultry egg production, sheep and goat farming, and other animal production. Eligible occupations are classified by the NOC code. So you can see the duties for each occupation by searching and by clicking on this link, and then you will have an idea that what exactly are the duties and whether you fall under these categories or not. It's pretty simple. So you just need to hit the link. And then these are different NOCs for product manufacturing, for greenhouse nursery and floriculture, for animal production, excluding the aquaculture that I just told you. So different NOCs with different codes, and telling you specific statements so that you have some idea, in fact, a clear idea that where exactly your application would fall into or where you would fall into. So yeah, these are all about the NOCs over here that I wanted to explain. So that was about it. So now let's check out who can apply. Although you'll see the information would be repetitive, but I'm just categorizing into different categories so that you understand what are your eligibility criteria. So that means who all can apply, whether you're eligible or not, and then how everything happens. So if still you have some questions, let me know, but just let's see who can apply here. So you need to have eligible work experience, like I said, a job offer, language requirement, educational requirement, enough money, and maintain your temporary resident status if you're already in Canada. These are all the things that we have talked about, and what are the language requirements and education requirements, and everything. We will be talking about it now in few seconds so that you have some idea about it. For eligible work experience, you must be a minimum 1 year non-seasonal full-time work in the past 3 years or 1560 hours, one or more of the eligible occupations listed under one of the eligible industries. Again, all the links are clickable, so you can just take a look. And through the temporary foreign worker program, LMIA, the labor market impact assessment with a minimum 12-month duration must have been submitted by your employer. And moving on, the work permit, if you have an open work permit but you used to have a work permit through the temporary foreign worker program, you still may have eligible experience, but any experience you gained while holding an open work permit does not count. So how to calculate your hours? You can check here. You can count the hours worked in full-time jobs. It can be different in eligible occupations, and hours must have been worked over a total period of at least 12 months. Then don't count the hours you were not paid for, or you weren't paid for volunteering or unpaid internships, or when you were self-employed, or when you were in a part-time or seasonal positions, or where your work was not authorized by IRCC. Again, offer has to be genuine, must be full-time. That means you work at least 30 paid hours per week, and it must be non-seasonal. That means it doesn't end when the season changes, so it has to be a permanent full-time thing that you need to find. Then, like I said, it must be non-seasonal, permanent. For unionized positions, the wage must be determined by the applicable collective agreement. And for non-unionized positions, the wage must meet or exceed the job bank's prevailing that is the median wage. and your job offer must be for a job in Canada outside of Quebec. So please make sure outside of Quebec. Yeah. So your Canadian language benchmark should be 4 or more, and as far as the educational requirements are concerned, you need to have a Canadian high school diploma, I mean high school certifications, or if you have done it from outside Canada, then it should be recognized by an assessment body ECA that you've done at least secondary level or above secondary level. And your settlement funds should show, and the report should not be, it should be less than 5 years old, and your settlement funds should show that you have enough requirements, enough funds to support you and your family even if they're not here. But if you're on a work permit here, then you do not need to show these settlement funds. Now let's go ahead and see that how can we apply. So there's an application form, first step, then you need to fill. And this application form, you should be very sure that your job requirements meet everything, all the eligibility criteria that we have talked about here. And then next, your task would be to fill that application form, and there are loads of application form, and you hit on the link, you're gonna see it. And once you're done, it's fine, because there are a lot of forms that you need to submit, and one of the form needs to be given by your employer who has given you the offer, and you need to sign a declaration for the same. Okay, next is second thing is get your fingerprints and biometric done. If you're between 14 and 79 years of age, you need to get it done. The fee for biometric, you'll see it here. What is the fee that you need to pay? And once you get these things done, that should be done within 30 days of the request that you have received to do it. So complete it, and then you have to pay your fees online. Then you have to pay your fees. So how you can pay your fees, if you just see this box here, when you click on the link, it will ask you to these questions, and once you fill it up, then it will let you know that how you can pay your fees. Then it's very simple. Then submit your application. Congratulations, you have submitted your application. Now what to do? You can either submit your application through mail or courier. Again, I'm saying, and I'm repeating this again, the links are here. Just click on them, just see whatever page you're trying to navigate to, and then you'll be there and you'll have all your answers. Now moving on to next, what to do when you have already applied. So you need to make sure that you've submitted all the correct information. You keep them posted about any changes that bring up in your application during the processing time. Then they're going to check your biometrics, and they're going to approve it's done. And if they need any further documents from you, they will ask for it. If they need us to set up an interview, they'll ask for it. A medical exam would be done, and it would be done for your family members, because in future, in case they would be coming up. And then you need to submit the medical records. They will let you know. And if everything falls fine, and if your application is rejected, but if everything went fine, and if your application is selected, then what are the next steps after? So I'm going to walk you through steps, what should be done if it is accepted, and if it is not accepted, you'll be getting a letter of explanation as to why it's not accepted and why it's rejected, on what grounds. Then you can start off with a new application if you think you can work well on it. So yeah, that's pretty much about it. Just take a look at what you will do when you get it accepted. So if they prove, you're going to get a confirmation of permanent residence, that is COPR, and a permanent resident visa if you are from a country that requires a visa. And your COPR will have information about who you are, your photo, and check to make sure your information is correct. It should be same as your passport, and just let them know if there's a difference, because that will be an issue and they can extend your COPR. So you should make sure to use it before it expires. And then, if you're already in Canada, you need to have a short interview with an officer, and you have two options. You make an appointment at one of the 4 offices in Canada that they are seeing is the best option. Or next is go to a Canadian port of entry, that is a border, and then present a proof that you have the funds, and that you have your COPR and your permanent resident visa. And then during the interview, the officer will make sure all your documents are valid. Of course, they have to make sure. And then I'll ask you a few more questions, confirm your Canadian mailing address. And if you change your address within 180 days of getting your status, you must tell them. If you're outside, use free pre-arrival services that will help you find out more about living and working in Canada. Take steps to get recognition in Canada for education, professional licenses. Like I said, you need to get everything assessed through the required or concerned bodies. And then you have to read about living and then finding work in Canada, of course, so that you understand and you get a hang of it, that how things work here. If you'll hit on these links that you've seen, the colors and underline, that will open up a different page altogether. That will help you in explaining about how things work here. And that's an easy way of understanding things. Yeah, so that's all about it. So that's all about it. I hope the information was helpful. If you still have any questions, please feel free to email me. or please feel free to write in comments and let me know how it worked. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do like, share and subscribe and hit the bell icon. Take care. Bye bye.